Hey YouTube land, Untitled back with another action figure review, and today we're looking at yet another of the Eagle Force figures. I know you're probably sick of seeing Eagle Force figures popping up on my YouTube channel at this stage. I don't know, you might be enjoying them. Hopefully you're enjoying these reviews, and this is for another one of the figures in Series 5. I have all 6 figures that I could get my hands on, and then I have the 2 figures from one from Series 1 and one from Series 2, which I've done reviews, and hopefully if you're watching this and have them all uploaded at the right time, they will be all in one playlist together, so you don't have to go messing around trying to find stuff. With that aside, we'll have a quick look at the Eagle Force Sandstorm, the Desert Warfare Specialist. So again, it's the same brief write-up about the global premier strike force, which is Eagle Force, to fight worldwide injustice and tyranny. You got an image of the character on the front. You have the other figures on the back, which I've gone through a few times at this stage, but you can see the names. And I'm going to just pan up my camera ever so slightly, which will probably be a complete mess. And I'm just bringing the bio cardy type thing, and we'll have a quick look at that. So for the brief bio card, you have Desert Warfare Specialist Sandstorm single-handedly rescued 6 of our men who were caught behind enemy lines. Even if he wasn't a wizard in the desert, I'd be signing him up Captain Eagle. And then the small write-up for him on this side is an expertly trained operative within the Polish GROM Special Forces Group. I'm not sure if they give a write-up for what GROM is. I have no idea. It could be something that people will know. I have never heard of it. Anyway, moving on. Special Forces Group. Sandstorm spent much of his career in the field, specializing in operations behind enemy lines, supporting the international missions against insurgents in the Middle East. Sandstorm left the military after he was reprimanded by his commanding officer for disobeying a direct order that ended up saving the lives of 6 Navy SEALs, including Low Tide. Captain Eagle remembered the story and recruited him to join the Eagle Force ranks. Now, I'm assuming Low Tide is one of the figures from either Series 3 or 4, because I don't have the cards for either of those, or he's one of the ones that are coming out at some point. So, but that is the lineup for those. That is the write-up for him. And oh yeah, these card backs are collector friendly. You just have to unhook the little plastic doodads here at the top, and you can fit it back over the card, and then your packaging doesn't get too damaged. So that's it for them, or for the card. We'll move my camera back down a bit, and we'll go on with the figure. Now, I think out of all the figures I've gotten so far in this wave, I think Sandstorm is one of my favorites. I know Sandstorm is one of my favorites, and I think you'll enjoy why. So, starting off with the basic figure, we'll just take his googles off, his good old goggles. So he comes with a plethora of accessories. So he does come with the same kind of bog standard 2-gun setup that nearly every figure does. So there's a couple of exceptions where they only come with 1 gun, but for the most part they come with 2. And before I even get into those and that, I'm going to go through his accessory bag, which is stock full of accessories. So we will go through his many heads. So he comes with his beret, his goggles, which are these little doodads here, and then not only that, is he comes with a helmeted head, which is pretty sweet, with his goggles on. Now, there isn't a version of the helmet head without the goggles on, which is the only one downside, but it is supposed to be the same head. And then you get this cool alternate head with the scarf mask thing pulled up on it, or the kind of thing for, you know, sandstorms, hence his name. So you get 3 looks for him. And what's cool about that is, even if you're not a big fan of the character itself, you can pop his old noggin off, get a couple of them, pop his noggin off, put these heads on, and you have a bunch of army builder looking dudes. So it is pretty cool that way. And it doesn't even stop there. It does come with the old basic Eagle Force base. Has the 2 peg holes on it. And then for his hands, we get a bunch of gloved hands which is pretty much the same sculpt as anyone that's wearing gloved hands. They tend to use the same kind of gloved hands, but done whichever base plastic and a small bit of paint apps on the back of the knuckles for the figure. It's the same kind of hands that came with the Riot Trooper and the same hands that came with, what's his name, Agent Grimm, but they are done in a kind of off brown with this kind of beige on them to represent the kind of same uniform that he's wearing, which is pretty cool. Again, as I said, there's a lot of parts sharing in this line, and that's not a bad thing because they are actually really detailed and really well done, and the paint app's really good. So he comes with these outstretched hands. He comes with these graspy hands. Now he has these alternate right grasp hand on him. He comes with a left and right grasp hand. He comes with a left and right trigger hand. He has his left trigger hand in his hand at the moment, and then he comes with two punchy fists. So he has the two punchy fists, and again, depending which hands you have, you either have the horizontal or the vertical hinge for the articulation. And we're not even done yet. So aside from all those hands, if you do not want him to have gloved hands, you have a whole set of the exact same position hands, trigger, finger, punching, open grasp and grasping hands, and you have a whole set of them with just the bare skin tone color if you don't want him having gloves on. Now that is something you don't generally get with most figures. I think out of all of the wave, he's one of the ones that has nearly the most accessories. I think there's only one that has a few more accessories than him, but you get a bunch of hands that are pretty cool. And even if you're not using the ungloved hands, you could probably use these on some of the other figures if you need to, or you have replacement hands if something happens to one of the hands, which is on, God forbid, any of the kind of, you know, skin tone guys, and you need a replacement hand, you could have an extra set of hands for him. And that is it for most of the accessories. I'm going to put his goggles back into his thing before it gets lost. Again, as with all the other figures, you get this little bag which holds all these gear. He comes with a painted up version of the M16 style, I'm assuming M16 style gun that came with Captain Eagle. The one with Captain Eagle is just all black. This is kind of a beige color with the with black on the grenade launcher, the underslung grenade launcher, and the magazine is painted in black. Again, removable hair or hat. It has a pretty cool head sculpt. I don't think it's the same head sculpt as Zantini's. I think it is a unique head sculpt, although I could be wrong. It could look like the same head sculpt with a different skin tone. Again, doesn't make a difference. It does look like two different people. So you have that. You have the camo on him. He very much reminds me of like a modern version of the G.I. Joe figure Dusty, with the camo on the face and with the beret and stuff like that. So you have that. His articulation is on par with the rest of these guys. He does have, oh, these little, I'm assuming it's supposed to be Desert Eagle, but it just looks like the 9mm pistol. That does tend to pop out, and it is actually painted, which is yet another paint application that has been provided to this guy, which is a actual painted looking Desert Eagle style pistol. You have the silver and the brown for the handle. It does fit in the holster, but again, with the slightest of tap, if he's upside down or off to his side, or if he falls off a table or anything, it will go flying out of that holster, so just be wary of that. He does have body armor on. Now his body armor is actually slightly bigger than most guys. It actually goes down to the lower waist, but it doesn't get in the way of his articulation that much. He still has that ball joint waist piece. He can kick forward. The desert camo on this guy is actually really cool. I'm not sure if you've seen this on screen that well, but he has like all these kind of, he has like a brown wash over his base beige color, and then he has these brown kind of inked blops and kind of brown washes and stuff going on, and he has quite a lot of deco for his thing. His waist harness has grenades on it. It has what look like flash grenades and regular grenades. His arms can rotate all the way around. You have that hinge on the wrist with the swivel on the wrist, the hinge on the elbow. Now, the one thing I have with my version of it, and it's probably just mine, is when I try to swap out the head, it is a bit tight, and instead of the, it's too hard to even do it on this, instead of the ball peg sitting back where the neck should be, the whole ball peg seems to come out with the head, and the way the heads are designed, there's the ball peg is supposed to sit in the remain in the torso when you pull the head off and you pop the other head on. But unfortunately for my one, he seems to like to take the head seems to like to take the ball peg with it. So it's just probably a thing of heating it up. Now there is some paint rub. I will give it that. There is paint rub on the joint. Not a big issue too much. The base plastic is kind of not too bad, so it's not too noticeable, but you can see it on his shoulder up here from where I've been moving the shoulder up and down. There's a bit of paint rub. It's not the end of the world sort of stuff. The rest of the paint apps look fantastic on him. In fact, what I might try doing, because I haven't done it on any of the other figures, so if we can pop off his waist piece so you can see the actual bodysuit underneath, and you can see that even that is painted. They didn't scrimp by just, you know, painting the arms and leave the stuff off him. So if you want to take his bodysuit off, or the armored body part or combat armor off, you can do that. So there is that to be looking forward to as well. If you pick up this guy, and you also have that Eagle Force logo on him, he does hold his weapons quite nicely, depending which one you want. He has his trigger finger on his right hand at the moment, so I'll just give him the pistol, so you can hold a pistol or the machine gun, depending on what you want. Again, legs have the dual jointed knees and has that boot cut with the hinge. Even the base of his feet are actually have paint apps on them. So again, as I said, they went all out on this dude for paint application, and even he is not the one which has like all the most paint applications on him. And so you have that as well. Even the studs on his armor at the back is painted, and on the front. So they did take care to attention to detail on this guy as well. So as I said, if you have multiples of them, which is pretty cool, you can army build them into like a small little unit of kind of desert operatives. You don't have to have them as just that one guy. So that is also a plus for this dude. So all in all, he is a pretty good... Oh, his beret also has the Eagle Force logo on it as well. So all in all, he's a pretty cool looking figure. So we'll try and get through, after me waffling on enough times about how cool he is, we'll bring in the rest of his team that I have reviewed so far. So we'll start with Zantini, and bring in good old Agent Grimm, and we'll bring in the boss man himself, the Captain Eagle. So you can see how he reuses a lot of parts from different figures. He shares pretty much the same body sculpt as the Agent Grimm, just different camo paint application on him, but overall really cool. We'll bring in the one bad guy that I have. If you're watching these reviews in sequence, then the one bad guy that I will have reviewed, or will have reviewed at this point. The dude again, the fish dude from Star Wars. One of the Crimson Twins from G.I. Joe, and Overload. Oh crap, there goes everyone. I should move his bag of accessories out of the way. Knew that was going to happen. So without overloading everything, we'll get everyone back standing, and then I will bring in one of the non kind of human characters, which is the Unmasked Predator from the from the Predator film from Hayatoy. So you have a look at different scales. So there you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video review for Sandstorm. Again, a good figure. If you can get him on his own, he's a great army builder. Even if you're not a fan of the Eagle Force line, he's a really cool looking desert troop looking character, so you could army build it to your heart's content. But overall, really cool figure. So he has a buttload of accessories and is really cool. So hope you enjoyed this review of this figure, and I have only 2 more to go in this wave. Silverback and Major Draconis. Actually, sorry, 3 more to go for this wave, and I'll get cracking on those, and hopefully you'll get to watch all these videos in sequence. So as always, please give a thumbs up to the video. Please feel free to like, comment and subscribe, and hopefully you enjoy these videos. Cheers, guys.